Hi everybody, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. My name is Susan and I am your hostess for the day. We're going to be entering my kitchen in a few minutes. We're going to make a freezer meal. It is a ham burrito, breakfast burrito, and it is one of my recipes that I've written down in my book. This is meal plans for the canning pantry and plus recipes. So this uses some items out of my canning pantry, and we went to the store and purchased some ham ends and pieces, and we recently got 30 pounds of Valdelia onions, so we're going to use some of Valdelia onion in it. We're going to use the ham pieces in it, and we're going to use our farm fresh eggs. So y'all get ready. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to make a casserole today for breakfast burritos, and I'm using some ends and pieces of ham that we got at Cash Saver. It was $1.88 a pound, and this package actually cost $6.75. I plan on using a lot of this up this week. I'm going to cut up some bell peppers. I've got some in the freezer that's already chopped. I couldn't find the bag. I'm going to have to go back and look for it. But I'm going to use approximately 1 to 1.5 cups of bell pepper chopped up. I've got a Valdelia onion. You can use any kind of onion. These just happen to be what we have on hand. I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to season this with adobo and my homemade Cowboy Candy Relish. And we will get this party started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my 9x13 baking dish, because I don't want my eggs sticking to the dish. And I'm going to go ahead and scramble up my eggs and get them in the bowl so I can be ready to put everything together. Okay, I used 12 hen eggs that were fresh, and I used 1 duck egg, which duck egg is equal or an equivalent to 2 hen eggs, so that would be 14 eggs. I've used approximately 1 to 1.5 cups of bell pepper. I'm going to cut up my onion, and I'm going to rinse my board off. Then I'm going to go to the ham, and I will add the Cowboy Relish and my seasoning. I'm using adobo. I'm going to use a teaspoon of adobo and a tablespoon of the Cowboy Relish. I've got a tablespoon here. That's what the relish looks like, y'all. That's an approximate tablespoon. It's a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to move this to the side. I've got my spoon over here. I've rinsed it off. I'm going to go ahead and just mix that in a little bit. Get the bell peppers broke up some. You can saute the peppers and onions in advance if you'd like. Had to find my old hickory knife. I like this old knife. I'm going to go ahead and cut my onion. I cut around the edge to get that peel and the first layer off. The secret to peeling an onion and chopping an onion is to leave the root end on. I'm going to slice through that root end, but I'm not going to cut it off. And I'm just going to go down here and make some slices into this onion this way. And then I'm going to chop it up, and you will have chopped onion. I found that is absolutely the easiest way to chop onion, leaving the root end on. This little piece here on the end, you might have to chop up some. And you can get it as fine as you like. We don't mind biting into a little bit of onion. And I'm just going to scoop this into my bowl and get it mixed in. If you're going to use your cutting board twice, do your vegetables first, rinse it off, then do your meat. There we go, we got a cutting board. Now this I'm not going to measure out exactly, but you want about 2 cups of meat. And it's ends and pieces. That's approximately a cup. And you just want it in bite-sized pieces. You don't have to have an exact science to it. I like to rough chop it. But that is approximately 1 cup. Let's see how accurate I am. One cup. Grab some more meat out here. That's probably another cup. Two cups. I'm going to clean up my mess, and we'll come back and we'll mix all this in and get it into the casserole dish and in the oven. I got my counter cleaned off so I can work. I have a fairly good sized kitchen, but I don't have a lot of counter space that I can actually use. So I'm going to make sure this onion's broken up a little bit. You notice I didn't add the cheese to this. I'm not going to add the cheese until the end, and the salsa. So this is basically about 1 cup of onion, about 1.5 cups of bell pepper, a teaspoon of Adobo Seasoning mix, a tablespoon of Cowboy Candy Relish, and 2 cups of ham, and 14 eggs. I'm going to get this in my oven, and we're going to bake it. And I'm going to clean up my kitchen. Okay, we baked this at 350 for about 50 minutes. You can adjust your time according to your oven. I'm allowing it to cool for a few minutes. It's still a little bit on the hot side. I have gathered my ingredients that I'm also going to use. The salsa from July of 2021. And some Colby and Monterey Jack cheese that's shredded. You can use any kind of shredded cheese that you want to use. This would be good with just about any kind of cheese. You can change the spices up. You could put bacon or sausage in this. I mean, it's just a really easy little thing to put together. And I've got my tortilla shells ready to go. And we're going to get started with this in a few minutes. I'm going to take my tortilla and I'm going to spread some of my salsa directly on the tortilla in the middle. I'm going to add my cheese at this point. Top it with my egg. You might want to break your egg up a little bit to put it on the tortilla. You fold the ends in first. Then you bring your wrapper over. And you want to wrap this as tight as you can. And I'm getting a little juice on my cutting board, but that's all right. I'm going to get out another pan to put this in. My salsa is a little bit on the loose side, y'all, so that's why it's dripping. I'm going to get a towel and clean that up. Once you have your burritos assembled, you want to wrap them in plastic wrap. And you're going to put them in a freezer bag and store them in the freezer until you're ready to use. When I put this into, when I take this out of the freezer, I'm going to wrap mine in parchment paper. And I'm going to put them in the oven. You can put it directly into a covered casserole dish in your oven. You want it 400 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes directly out of the freezer. And they will be a little crisper than if you did them in a microwave. And that is my demonstration for you. I'm going to go ahead and finish these up. And I hope that you will enjoy this. The recipe will be in the description box along with our new post office box. Look forward from hearing from you. Alrighty, we got 16 burritos. We probably would have had 17, but my husband and I had to test taste the egg mixture, and I used almost, not quite all of it, a pint of homemade salsa and a little over 8 ounces of cheese.